What's good? Welcome to the Dang Show, your place for everything drawing, animation, nerds, and gaming. I'm your host Pierre, and I'm here with my co-host Juelz. What's good, man?
Hey, what's good, brother? You know,
Okay,
what you been up to?
same old, same old. You know how I go, man. I've been trying to get this art together. I've been having a couple of, well, it's holiday season, so that right there is already a big chunk of my time. But other than that, I've been chilling, man. I've been able to do some things I've been wanting to do, like play Spider Man. I've been waiting on Spider Man. So I got a
Mm.
little bit of art done too. What about you, man?
Far as art, I've been changing up the styles. So I got a little. I can't say it's a little bit done, but I've definitely improved. I kind of been going back to the basics. Um, you know how we you growing up and you in art class, art school, and we want to draw the fun stuff like the anime, Dragon Ball Z, and all that stuff. And your teacher
Right,
like, no, draw this fruit basket. No, draw this over here. So I've
right,
been going back to the basics because I'm drawing basic anatomy, trying to do much realism as I can, and learning the different methods of that. So that's been interesting, and I've been telling my daughter because my daughter's doing the same thing, drawing the whole anime manga s type stuff. I said, listen, no, you gotta start working on realism, and because this stuff is based off of that, and you can interpret it later, but you need to know how this stuff works and functions, drawing it this way correctly. So I've been
right,
trying to get her that way, but she's like how I was, just drawing anime and you're thinking that this is how it's supposed to look. So, and I see
right.
now that you really need to learn how to do the basics
I mean,
along with the explanation.
I what I've learned is that you got to start off with building blocks. So like if you can get your proportions together, it don't really matter how real it looks. It's more if you get your proportions together. So if you can get her to learn the basic, proportions, then that'll probably help a lot with just having your character or having whoever you drawing or whatever you drawing in a 3D space by having the proportions together. So you don't want the arms to be too long. You don't want the body or the torso to be too long. You don't want, the head to be too big, type of thing, unless it's supposed to be a character or
Yeah,
caricature.
exaggerated or something. Right,
Yeah, like a
exaggerated.
chibi or something like that. Yeah.
Right.
And that's what I've learned along the way is just trying to get those proportions together because you could draw your box and this and that and just draw around that. Everything is broken down into shapes. So once you break it down into shapes, then they get good with them shapes. Then they be able to draw whatever they need to in that 3D space. Then they start working on turning the box this way, turning the box that way. Just to
Yeah.
try to get everything to fit in that box to be proportioned.
We still do that. I teach her to break it down to the most simplest forms possible. Circles here, cylinders. Try to break it down. So I actually, trying to get her to learn how to get the gesture in it, to have
Right.
a smooth hand with it, not trying to
I
just
mean, that's
do
advanced,
the finished product.
gesture and all that. Like some
Well,
some kids might be able to get it without even knowing they're getting it, but trying to teach them that is advanced. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, I'm trying to get her to see some of the stuff that I wish I would have saw,
right,
and the importance of it, like when her when she was drawing, when she was drawing her hands, you know how back in the day you have your hands behind your back because you
right,
scared to draw and all that stuff, so you do this, and I try to tell, no, don't be scared of it because you're scared of it. If you don't work on it, you don't practice on it, then you're not gonna get better on it. So
right,
I said, don't be afraid to, for one, for it to look right, or well, I'm not gonna say fail, but don't be afraid to try at it. At least do it and keep doing it. Because if you keep hiding those insecurities, you're not gonna get better at it. Only how you're gonna get better is by accomplishing. So she starts drawing the characters with the hands out, and it's I can point 5 squares. So that's something, right? Like, hey, you're
right,
doing good, and I try to show her. that this is how it's supposed to be with the hand or this way or that way. And I'm not the best or great at drawing hands whatsoever. I mean, it's just me just looking at everything now, especially from like the whole anatomy drawing, trying to break it down, like especially like you talking about proportions, even when it comes with the face, like you draw the circle, then what the first line is supposed to be what like a quarter of the head or something, and then from that line to the chin, it's supposed to be halfway for the nose, and then that line down for
Right.
the mouth and all that stuff.
I mean, that's
And then
symmetry. Symmetry is,
yeah,
is is a form of beauty. Beauty. So like you kind of want to like have everything symmetrical. Like
right.
I mean, if you can see like from your eyes down is the corners of your mouth. So the middle of your
Well, right
eyes,
here, right? Like your pupil down is the corner, right? Or it's like
right?
the
The
edge of it
pupil
right here. Yeah,
down, yeah. So then
yeah.
that'll be the corners of your mouth. But then
Hmm.
also, the size of
Right
your
here.
eyes from this side to the other side in the middle is the size of an eye. So that's a little trick too. Some people
Yeah, because they
faces
have like an
aren't.
eye for the middle.
Yeah, it's like an eye space. So this space in between is the same size as your eye. And I mean, those are little tricks that I learned as well. Like, trying to get your nose is going to be, some people got bigger noses. So trying to get those characteristics could be harder later on. Drawing anime stuff, they don't really have no noses.
Exactly. I've been struggling with noses like crazy because I've been trying to get it to look right, and I've been drawing like the Loomis method, and I've been
Yeah.
having the square here and the square here come down, and you draw the square, and you got to draw the bridge. I've been looking at the artist Proco. He's got a
Yeah,
YouTube
Proco.
channel.
Yeah.
I've
The
been
one that was
checking
like,
him out.
is that the one that was like, why? He started from here? Or is that the other guy?
I don't know. His music kind of sound like jazzy. He be like whistling and
Oh,
stuff. Like,
okay. Yeah, yeah.
and he be but he's a good, really talented artist, million subscribers. But I've been looking at him. And I'm like, man, that nose is, and even the lips kind of got me for a little bit. But I realized trying to draw it in a 3D space, it's
Right.
been difficult in the beginning. I'm getting the hang of it now, but you seen the picture I sent you on paper. You like, why are her
Yeah.
lips so big? But if I show you what I've been drawing now, I mean, she
Right.
had she had lips, but her lips was big as the artist. But I mean, as her as a human, but she's like I said, she's a character I'm using for Ruth. But it was still very anime or animated, so I noticed I need to try to make it look better, and the symmetry and stuff was off, and so it was like my old habits still kicking in. So as I kept working and working with it, and I
Right.
learned that the lips is kind of like a can, like he said, visually like a sardine can within the mouth, and it's like a cylinder, like come like this. So when you're
Yeah.
drawing it, because it goes like this in the space. So it's been fun. It's been it gave me a new love for it. I can tell you that. I never really thought drawing realism or trying to focus on realism will be as fun as it has been the last couple of weeks. I've actually been enjoying it. Drawing the
Right.
same character over and over and over again, but in it, I don't know. I guess what gave me inspiration to do it was because Castlevania, because I saw how Castlevania's Nocturne was and how
Right.
the characters. I mean, that's like a fusion, but it still had like American comics type style in it too.
Mm-hmm.
With the long bridge nose and the lips and the eyes and stuff. And I'm like, man, I really like that style. So it made me start to really look at that and like, instead of just trying to keep up with the manga and the anime in Japan. So that what really got me into it, trying to switch up and do more realism. So it's been
Right.
fun. It's been fun learning the different techniques and the different things and trying to establish it. But it's something I should have been doing a long time ago instead of drawing Goku noses with a triangle and then you
I
you just go
mean,
like
yeah,
this.
you got to start off somewhere, man. I mean, you say that it's bad learning that stuff, but of course, everybody got influences on what their style gonna be. So until you want to break out and do something new, then you can be like, damn, I shouldn't have been learning how to do this the whole time. I mean, it's always something like I'm at a stage now in my art where I want you to recognize my art as I drew. It don't matter who I'm drawing. I could be drawing, you know what I'm saying, Tanjiro or anybody. You could be like, oh yeah, Pierre drew that, you know. But what was it? It was a guy. I'm trying to think of his name at the moment. Once again, we just off the cuff with this type of stuff. So the guy's name, but he's a very good artist, but he can just kind of almost emulate any art style. And like every picture that he draws, it could be like, oh, that's not. It looks like Saki Machan. Artists might know who Saki Machan is, like how they render and color it and everything. But then it's actually this guy. So this guy has like a cartoony style as well, and he has like a realistic style. And so all these type of learning how to do different styles can help you incorporate it into your own style. But everything is basically we just a human AI trying to learn how to take everything from everybody, man. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? So
don't get me heated with AI. Just don't. It's too early in the podcast. Don't do it, because
right, right. But
I
no, I
just I
mean what
just
I'm trying to tell you though is that
I get what you're saying. Yeah, but
yeah,
those trigger
you
words.
don't want to take away that because eventually, sometimes you might want to do that. Like, hey, you want to draw a
What?
Goku?
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that that's bad to draw like that, but what I'm saying is I wish I would have practiced more on learning the basics, and then I can interpret it the way I want to in the long run. Like I still have different stories that's going to have this more animated look,
Right,
anime type look or whatever. But it's just the fact of knowing how to actually draw it correctly is is to me, it's like, because you're really drawing from life. Everything's from life, and to know that I'm not mimicking something that's mimicking life, I'm actually can draw life myself and say,
right,
hey, if I want to, I can draw this. So that's where the excitement is coming in, because I'm actually learning how it's supposed to be. And then I can see in some ways why they did what they did, like in anime and stuff. Like I said,
right,
Castlevania really was the one that made me go that way, because it looked, you could tell it's still a fusion of it. But a lot of their faces and a lot of their art, like especially when they draw like the older characters and
yeah,
distress, they have like the whole like bridges and stuff. It just, I don't know, even with the bags under the eyes and stuff, it's like,
right.
wow. So I just really wanted to learn how to do all that, and learning actually how to do it has been. I mean, I
Right.
can show you. I can
Yeah,
show you
it's a
something.
good a nice journey. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I
I,
I could uh like what is it? I can see what you're talking about trying to get that journey into learning how to do stuff. For a long time when I was younger, people used to say my women face looked kind of mannish, because I was just used to drawing Goku and drawing, different characters all the time, guys all the time. So I would look at other artists on how they would draw women, and rounder faces, rounder things, try to make it don't look so mannish, but I want my characters to still be, recognizable as a woman.
right.
So it took me a while to get to that point.
And you see, I mean, I've been drawing her. This isn't a picture that I was working on. I've been drawing her,
Yeah,
but this is one of the other images I did. And this was like using the Loomis method, trying to
right.
break it down, like you said, with the whole nose and stuff. So, and this was just another sketch stuff that I was doing, but I was. This is the image here, but I don't know if you can see it too well, but try to just draw the realism. It's still like a fusion, and it still looks
So
very anime still, but.
so just for context, we new with this podcast thing, so this is video, but for our audio listeners, could you describe a little bit what you doing?
That's
Because
correct. It is audio.
yeah, yeah. So our audio listeners, he does have a picture of a beautiful black woman, and he's trying to emulate her facial structure, but she has big voluptuous lips, and she has like
Yes.
very cat like eyes, and
Mm-hmm.
so he's trying to break it down on how you can emulate or draw that on a regular basis down to a picture on in his art style. So if you guys are listening, then give pop on YouTube and then check us out at Dane Comics, and you'll be able to see what we're talking about. But for
Yeah,
right
give us a
now,
little
yeah,
glimpse. You know. But
yeah,
you can see, it's, and I have other pencil stuff too, but I just like her aesthetic so much that I wanted to
right,
use her for the character Ruth for No Evil Fantasy. So I just
yeah,
been practicing and practicing and practicing, and I got a ways still to go. Like still with this bridge nose, and a lot of it I have to do with shading. I have to know that it's not just something you could draw; it's actually something you can shade to make it look like that in that 3D space. So I try to be
right,
trying to draw lines. It's not going to actually look right. It needs to be shaded to make it look that way. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, her
Well,
name
I mean, the
is
coloring is a whole different beast, man. Your picture could look
oh yeah.
super good inking or drawing it, but then when you start coloring it, you be like, man, the shades that make this facial structure don't look as 3D, this and that. So it all depends on how you feel like you're going to render it as well. Like when it comes to coloring, like I've been kind of like really relying heavily on my line art. So my line art, it'll be thicker lines, it'll be thinner lines, and then that'll show like different um hair textures. Like if you want to do thin hair or thick hair, you have different hair textures and different line weights. But when I color it, I can't get that to show. So sometimes I go in a simple coloring way where you're like, what is it? Like cell shading, you know, and they'll like still keep the line art is strong, but I mean, since we sharing our work, I'll show you what I've been working on. I mean, I've been
Oh
drawing
yeah,
a couple
please
of
do.
a couple
I
of
mean, this
oh, go ahead.
I was this explains why the event that we had for October.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Uh,
So in October, well, this is the beginning of November. So in October we had a OC challenge. I call it OC Tober or October. And basically, it was a challenge that you would take your original character and you would draw it each day of the week, kind of like Inktober. And then you would try to draw them doing different things so you can get to know your character a whole lot better. Because a lot of people, they'll be creating characters and they got one good picture of him, but then they don't know how his personality is, what he likes to eat, where he sleeps, or stuff like that. So it helps you develop your character more. And it's been, I would say, maybe 6 or 7 years in the making, but I have not completed not one time. I mean, I'll probably get to like the tenth picture, and then I'll be like, man, I'm too busy to do all the rest of the work and stuff like that. And sad to say, this month has been the same way. So I would start like September as sketch timber. I would call it sketch timber. So it would help out with that stuff. So you sketch the character, and then OC Tober will be when you ink the character, you know, and then you already have it. Will have the sketches, and then all you had to do was color them or ink them. But trying to ink them and color them at the same time, it's like you got to focus on trying to be dedicated to your craft. The world goes on without you. And if you don't work on these things that you got going on or you got created, you can always say it that I'm working on an artwork, I'm working on a character, I'm working on a story. But if you don't actually put in your time and due diligence on that type of stuff, then it'll never come into fruition. So I was trying to make a fun challenge so people be able to do it as fun as in the community, Dane community, and just draw it. We can share each other's artwork and stuff like that, and then get things done as well. So I guess that was a long description of what was going on, but
and that's what messed me up. I mean, it didn't mess me up, but if it weren't for this challenge and watching of course Castlevania, but one for that challenge, it wouldn't give me the time to focus much on Rufus. I did, and again, for audio listeners, the reference that I'm using, her name is Michelle. She's on Pinterest under They Love Michelle, and that's the woman that we're talking about, or the young lady that we're referring to that I'm using as a reference. But this challenge made me focus on that character and started to focus straight. Just I've been doing nothing but just drawing her over and over and over again, honestly, on
Right.
paper and on the computer, trying to get her aesthetic as closely as possible as I can, and then if I can, then that's when I go have room to interpret it. So that's all I've been doing, and it was the reason why I didn't have the other stuff doing because I was trying to learn this new. I'm trying to do all this stuff over again and learn this stuff new, and it took so much of my time that what I'm saying, like I couldn't
Right.
have the finished work because I was trying to figure out how to do this. And that's
Yeah,
in this.
yeah.
I wish I would have participated in sketch timber. Sketch timber, what do you call it?
Yeah, that was supposed to be in September, but I ain't even
sketch timber.
post that
Yeah,
challenge or post the October or the OC-tober challenge, but yeah, that's what my plan was. So
right.
yeah, Sketchtober would have helped
Sketch
with
timber.
the
Sketch.
OC-tober.
So definitely looking forward to that next year. But this is like you said, this is the beauty of it. Even though we didn't finish the challenge, it gave more insights into character building,
Right,
and it put me into a spot where I had to look at something and focus on that. And focus on has been fun. So
right, right.
even though it's over with, I'm still working on it. So
Yeah,
that's what it's all about. It's making you get out the element and making you see, like you said, looking at your characters and
right.
focusing on them. Because I really want to introduce her because, can't keep talking about it. And then they're like, well, where's she at? Who is she?
Exactly.
And so, yeah. But
So
what you
yeah, I
got?
mean,
What you sharing?
so you say you did pick your character Ruth. Did you want to, talk about Ruth or? Well, let me share what I'm working on real quick. So this
All right.
is some stickers I'm working on. This is
The
Megumi.
Jutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen, and I mean, um, just something cute. That's why I was going in
Okay.
on styles, not going in, but talking to you about the styles because I mean I don't draw like this. I'm trying to make it as
Right.
simple as possible. I'm trying my best to not put as much detail as I usually do. So hopefully you can still tell that I drew it or whatever like that. I actually did draw more than one character, so this is just Megumi, and then I got
Oh, that's his
Nobara
name.
right here.
Oh, that's the chick with the nails. Okay.
Yeah. So, trying to get a pose in and still look simple. And, this is cell shading. There's not a lot of, you know, heavy shading. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
something simple for it to be stickers, and then also I did Maki here.
Maki.
So
That's a really popular name in anime because I've been watching Fire Force and
yeah.
they got two characters with Maki, two main characters. One is actually nicknamed Maki. Her name is
Yeah.
Tamaki, and
Mm.
uh, and the other one I forgot, but they just both got Maki in it. I'm like, I
Right,
don't know.
yeah, I
I
remember
guess
Fire Force does have a girl named
yeah.
Tamaki in it, yeah.
The
Yeah, I
other girl is
mean,
Maki something Maki.
it's just like Jane and John, so Sasuke is
Perhaps
like Jane and Sakura is like John. I mean, Jane.
Saga.
Sakura is like Sasuke is like a John.
Is
So
it?
so
There's a
yeah, I
lot of
mean
Sasuke's in anime. Okay.
like I said, for the listeners, we just sharing art, man. Basically, Jujutsu Kaisen characters. And if y'all anime fans, if y'all want to check it out, just check it out on the YouTube. I'll probably be having them post up on the social medias and everything like that. So whenever I get a chance, I'll post these pictures up for y'all. But yeah, that was the quick stuff I was working on. Like I said, it didn't take me too long, about an hour and a half for each character, you know, and
So
coloring
what
and
you doing with
everything.
these
Everything
stickers?
colored on one layer, so it's not like very. very hard to do. I mean, for me, I wasn't trying to do it like very complex. I was trying to make it simple, and that was the main goal, is to try to make it simple. Yeah.
So what is the goal to do with the stickers?
I mean, just to have stickers, because we supposed to have been having a convention in June in January, but lately we just been unlucky with the getting the tables. So that's cool with me. You know, more time to work on what we need to work on, and Jujutsu Kaisen was kind of popular in the media right now because of what's going on, and I like Maki. Maki, me and Jay had a good conversation about Maki, and you know, can't talk to everybody about Jujutsu Kaisen since they think you're stupid. You know what I'm saying? So
Look, I've been trying to watch it, but I can't find it nowhere because
well, it's
after
on
our last
Crunchyroll.
conversation,
It's on
I don't have
Crunchyroll.
I don't have Crunchyroll the app. You got to pay for it to watch it. Crunchyroll,
No,
like
well,
is
you
you
can
got to
Crunchyroll.
no?
Yeah, you do have to pay for Crunch. It's like $10 a month, man. Like I do it through subscription base, so you get your free whatever, and then they take the little $10 from you, but to do premium, and then I mean, like talking about anime, like basically they just came out with the Attack on Titan last episode,
Season,
so
yeah,
I ain't
the
even get to
last
watch the.
episode.
Yeah, I ain't really get to watch the. I ain't even watched the episode before that
Mm.
because it was
It's
an
still
hour
sub.
long special or something like that. Just
It's
because
still
I wanted to
subtitled.
wait, huh?
It's still subtitled. They haven't dubbed it yet. I've been
Man,
waiting for them to dub it.
right, right. I mean, Attack on Titan, one of them animes. I gotta listen to dub, man, because I want to know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But maybe they was waiting just like we was waiting, like
Yeah,
for it to be finished. So yeah, you know.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, Maki. I started drawing Maki, because it's a evolved version of Maki. No spoilers or nothing, but it's an evolved version of Maki later on in the story. And then I wanted to just draw the regular version of her, and then it just end up being like, if we could do the convention, these are stickers that people can get, people want to get, because I didn't know if I was gonna have a lot of time to do like a full print, because working on the comic book we supposed to been trying to we have been supposed to been trying to finish the comic book before the convention. I mean the first issue is done. It's just as being colored. I'm trying to color it and everything like that. So that's a process as well. Like I mean, I can show you some of that if y'all want to see some of that. You know,
yeah. Show them some of that juicy, uh, Yusuke Murata esque. Um, what's the other the real good artist that you like so much?
oh,
Not Murata,
Joe
Joe
May,
May.
yeah.
This is why it's taking so long.
Well, I mean, the art is done. Like I said, the art is done. It's just the coloring now. And this is like, I would say my first time. Yeah, this is my first time like coloring interior pages. So like, it's like a full-fledged rendering for each panel, if you want to call it that. So what I'm trying to do is trying to find the best way to color it. And I've been doing research. So it's a little learning curve going on right now.
Yeah,
Where because I could color one picture, if it got like multiple things in it and all that. But yeah, each panel in the comic book or the manga is gonna be colored. So it needed lighting, it need to have consistent coloring throughout the whole book. It need to have you know consistent drawing as well. So let me see if I can get this open here. But yeah, that is a learning curve, and
oh yeah,
eventually, I mean, I'm still laying down the flats, but the once I lay the flats down, that's cool. And for people who don't know or might be just learning about flats, flats is basically the flat colors. So that's also a thing that you'll want to learn on your character as well. Just the color scheme. If you watch a lot of anime or watch cartoons or whatever, a lot of characters have like a color palette, and that color palette is either their base colors or different colors that could alternate or whatever like that. So it'd be good if you do your character to a full rendering where you be able to go back and forth and like look at your picture that's done, so you have your colors so you can color each page.
I'm
Let's
gonna tell
see.
you a good trick if you having issues trying to figure out different color schemes. Just take it from nature. Nature's already done it.
Right.
Just look at all the different color schemes of different animals or plants or these certain advertisings that people have done professionally, graphic artists. Just look at the different color schemes and just take it.
Right. I mean, who would have thought Naruto would have looked like a Reese's Pieces? But it's just a Reese's Pieces. You know what I'm saying? He got yellow, red, and black. I mean
So
orange, black, and yellow. That's
yeah,
Reese's. You know,
and
so
trying to figure out what complementary colors go with what and what is pleasing. Just go to. And you still study color theory, for
right.
sure. But but if you don't beat yourself on the head or trying to sit and just try to overly think figuring it out, just do your art study, and just look at how things is with nature, like even with the clouds when the sun is setting, or when it's like about to be a thunderstorm and the color scheme of the clouds, or look at how it is with the grass and the trees and all that stuff. That's everything. It's a lesson. So
Right. So I mean, this is what, page 16. This one was a lot of work here. So the color, the character. So everything is on a flat layer. So um, with the main colors. So this is laying down flats. You can do it any color you want to. I call this the elements. So when you do the elements, basically you take your full character and you color them all one color, or you block them out to be all one color. So then when you use your selection tool, you can just select the character, and then you can color inside of it on another layer what needs to be colored. So all the elements in the page, that's kind of a quick way to do it, is just to go ahead and make all of the character one solid color. So then when you hit the magic wand tool with that color, it'll select each that one color for each panel. You know what I'm saying? The whole. So if you want to click this peach color right here for this one character, once I highlight it, it's going to highlight this one. It's going to highlight the second panel, the third panel, and so on and so forth. So then I could go back on my flats layer and everything is selected. So now all I got to do is paint bucket tool, whatever needs to be paint bucket tool to the color. And, just coming up with like marble colors and background colors and, colors of each one of these characters is kind of a daunting task every once in a while. Just trying to figure out what colors we need to do. And none of this has shading in it. So it's all flat colors. And you want to try to get it prepped to be easier when you do start putting the highlights and stuff like that in it. So now when since I got all the colors in this one character, when I click this color here or this brownish color here, then all of it will pop up, or all of it will get selected, and then I could just go and render whatever I need to, like put shadows on it here, put shadows on it there, and then I just go to the next panel, put shadows on it here, shadows on it there, and I do one piece at a time until I'm finished doing all of it. So it's a lot.
into the also this the Falcon General Falcon is the one that's in the middle. This is the
Yeah,
story Fire, Ruin, Scattered Embers. Also for the audio listeners, but the whole color scheme of Falcon was based off a picture of a chameleon. The
yeah,
yeah, lizard. Like the whole every color you see on there was based off of that one color scheme of that chameleon, and it was used to create this character's color scheme, for even from the clothes, everything. So it's just another
yeah.
example of using something that's already out there and just and just taking it to your advantage. Um, you know, Oh, you actually have the picture of the chameleon.
Yeah, I think I do have the picture. I do. I know definitely have the character sheet.
Yeah, that's the character sheet right there. Is that the one I did?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So this is an example of a character sheet that you want to do colors on. So maybe do a turnaround so you'll get all the parts of him. This is just a two picture one. So this is kind of forward at an angle, and this is to the side. So you want to kind of. I didn't do the back of him because I did when I first drew him. He had like a design on his back of his jacket, but I was like, man, this is way too detailed. So I just took all that out. You know what I'm saying? And he also does have a tail. He has a tail. I just didn't draw it. Like let's see this page right here. Um, so on this page
Oh, right
here,
there, I see the tail.
yeah, he
Yeah.
has a tail. I just didn't draw the tail. And actually, just to make it context, this blue and this blue isn't the same blue. So I have to come back and color that blue. I already had this blue picked before because it was supposed to
Right.
be like a gray color. So I was coloring this one as well. And he has a tail. It's just a lot to draw, man. You know?
I mean, look. I mean, look at the extensive detail. And the thing is, we was talking about how you do all this as an artist. Someone just flip
Flip
the
the page.
page,
Right.
just
It
flip the
only takes
page.
1 minute to read
Like
all that.
they gonna read it, and they gonna flip the page. You took
Right.
hours upon hours to draw all that detail and time, just zoomed it in all the way. Then they gonna like,
Right.
oh, okay.
Right. It take you 15 minutes to read the whole book. And then you're like, man, I gotta do more books so they can be, they can at least
Right.
be doing it for 30 minutes. You know what I'm
So
saying?
if
Reading it
y'all
for
get a
30
copy, please take a time to look at the artwork and just admire the time of art and the way it color, because I
I
mean
mean, it's a
it's
passion. That's how I wanted to be, man. It's a passion. So like, like
it's really
uh
daunting. I mean, this is no AI stuff. No AI involved in this. This is all
yeah, it's all hand
handcrafted
drawn
human
stuff.
work.
So so
So
yeah, I mean like I said, this is a flats as well. If I just, I try to pick a color for the flat that the character doesn't have on his body. So then when I'm coloring it, I'll know that it's colored. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I come in with the flats. I could just highlight the red and start shading when I want to start shading. So everything will be well. If I wanted to actually do all of it, I'll just take off contingent, and then it'll just pick all the red. But I'd like to keep it on sections because I might just come around with a shadow right here or a light source, and then I come on this one and then do it. So it all depends on how you like to do it. But laying the flats down is a daunting task. This is like page 17, 17, 18, 19, 20.
well, quick
On
question:
it.
Is Fire's eyes? His eyes is gonna be two different colors.
Yeah,
Like I know
his
the one
eyes
when he
too.
got burnt. Oh, so that eye
Yeah.
is gonna be yellow, or is it gonna
What this the left eye or
no
the right eye?
the right eye, the one that's
Yeah,
yellow
that's his
already.
natural eye color.
Oh,
Is
is it? Okay.
Yeah, his natural eye color is like a golden color, and
Okay.
the one that he got scarred on his left eye. I think yeah, it is the left, right? No, it's the
Well,
right.
left is what facing the screen is the left side scar, and the right side is the one with this yellow. For me,
Yeah.
facing the screen on my end.
Okay. So yeah. So the one that he got the scar on, the side he got a scar on, his eye was all damaged and gone. It was gone. But then he got healed, and then it healed back with the red and the black. So that's how his eye is. He got two different colors eyes. So you can see out of that eye and everything. It's not like a special eye. It's just that's the way it healed back. It's black and red.
Okay.
It's been like that.
Is that the
Sis-
Volvex attack that did that, or is that before Volvex?
This is when he got. This is after. So this is mid story. So it's still before and then after. This is the middle part that time skip from the main story. And he
I'm
had
talking about the
fought.
scar.
Yeah, the
Oh, you
scar.
talking
He
about the
gets it
scar? Okay,
from.
okay, 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 okay.
He gets the scar from Sedaine. Um, that's why I say you don't know where he gets it from yet, but he gets the scar from Sedaine. And that's the character, one of my villain characters that was ends up attacking his mom and killing her, and then he loses the fight trying to get revenge or get a revenge, and he straight cuts he straight cuts his face with his blade. That's why he has a big scar. Let me see if I can.
Now, to clarify, Sedaine didn't try to kill his mom. Sedaine tried to kill Fire's mom. Correct?
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, because it sounded like he was trying to say Sedaine. I just wanted to clarify for the audience that that's not what it is. Fire was protecting his mom
yeah, yeah,
from the
yeah.
attack.
So yeah, he has a big scar across his chest. I guess we want to save. So yeah, he got a big scar across his chest because he did get sliced by Sedaine, and then he has a scar on his face
Yeah, he was like the
from when he
verge of
got.
death, wasn't he? He was in almost a verge of death after this battle.
Oh yeah,
He got
he
messed up pretty
actually
bad.
did kind of die, if you want to call it that.
Oh,
He
wow.
died. He died. He just was kind of like, yeah, he died. He died and got brought back. So yeah. This is after that fight. He doesn't have his arm anymore, his right arm, or this is his left arm. Sorry. So his left arm, he doesn't have that anymore. This is a reconstruction. Um, or when he got brought back, his arm comes back as well. His arm blew up when he was fighting Sedaine as well. So he didn't have no arm, didn't have no eye, and he got
Mm.
sliced down the chest like that. So he was pretty much dead. And he at that time he was fighting him. He combined with the Cure Stone, and the Cure Stone healed him, but it didn't heal him like perfectly. It healed him
Right.
with a black and red eye and a lava arm that he can't control. So
That's what the majority of the source of the Curious Stone is inside that arm, right? That's pretty much
yeah, I
the
mean,
arm that
well,
he
I
can't
mean, it's
control.
inside of his body, so his soul is merged with the stone, if you want to call it that, at this
Right.
time. So yeah, it's basically a defense or basically a his arm is a weapon now, and it
Right.
is a conduit to use the power of the Cure Stone. And that's why he can't control it. Kind of like Cyclops, he got to put on his glasses all the time, and then eventually he'll get to a point where he can control it. But this, he has a sleeve on, and he got a lot of inhibitors on that sleeve. These gold looking things are inhibitors in Phyterian culture. So in the Phyterian culture, they have inhibitors to help them control their energy output and input and stuff like that. And he has the strongest ones on his arm right now. So this is a prototype. Like I think it's like Mach 1. And in this story in Fire Room SC, he kind of goes on a journey to get a better sleep. So by the end of by the time at time skip, he have pretty much 80 to 90% control because he have new elements in his sleeve. So yeah, this is a whole design of a character that's only gonna be in like 5 books of five.
And this is what I'm trying to do for Ruth, trying to get the character sheet going for Ruth. But it's very detailed. And you guys want to know more about the story? We should have a dedicated podcast explaining more about what the stories and stuff's
Oh
about.
yeah,
Get you guys hyped up for the coming, not only of the issue of Scattered Embers, but But for the full-fledged issue of Fire Ruin and his whole journey, it's a very fascinating tale. So I'm not the creator, so I'm not going to sit and authorize what can be spoiled. But whenever we have an established talk about that, I'm pretty sure he would let you know exactly the synopsis and how far he can go in detail. Because still don't want to just give you everything. I mean, want you to actually read it. But it's a very interesting
Right.
story. Very interesting.
I mean, yeah. I mean, definitely we want to start posting characters more, this and that. Like I said, I just got to get on the grind and draw more and do more stuff. That's
Right.
basically what we got to do. It's just got to get done. So it's getting done as best as I can do.
And you was asking about Ruth, so I want to tell y'all who Ruth is. So I have a story called No Evil Fantasy, and Ruth is the main character in that story, and she's a troubled youth who's pretty much got put into this private school. It's a religious private school, and she trying to get herself straight, trying to figure out why she's always angry. The whole situation is going with youth nowadays, and you have people trying to counsel and help out. But it comes to find out later that the school is not what it seems. It's always like that, right? But the school is pretty much a bunch of, they call them God killers, but they're demon hunters, essentially. They hunt out and kill the Nephilim that's out in the world. So,
Demon slavers. No. No.
I mean, witches, werewolf, vampires, any of the Nephilim that's been created by angels mingling with humankind. That's how Nephilim was created. So their whole job is to pretty much stop that and what's going on. But the reason why Ruth is so entangled to the thing in the forefront is because, well, I'm not going to spoil it too much, but her involvement is more because of trying to save a friend, to say. And so it's almost like it's not really revenge. It's more of trying to save someone who saved her. But that's pretty much what the story is about, and it has its twists and turns, and it has an ending that where people are not going to receive pretty much how it ends. Hopefully, I'm created that way, but yeah, that's Ruth, So, and all the God killers have symbols with the zodiacs and stuff like that. So she's a Pisces. So, and they all can summon. What's the angels? That's they're I want to not say fallen angels, but that I wish I had my notes and stuff in front of me. But the angels is in the biblical times that was sent to Earth to look after the humans and stuff like that. I can't think of the name of them right now; it escapes me.
What, guardian angel?
They're not guardian angels. I can't think of it right now, and I feel so bad for not thinking of it. But essentially, they was in charge of looking after humankind, stuff like that. But they ended up intermingling with the humans, creating the Nephilims. So they was punished by God, actually. These angels, and I can't believe I can't remember the name of them right now. But yeah, anyone who's a historical nut, they will know what I'm talking about, and hopefully it will come to me. But they actually have them in chains and using and absorbing their powers or whatnot to unlock their own limiters that was placed on by God, because everybody has a limiter. So we'll have to have a podcast or discussion talking about these stories and stuff, and I can feel like go in detail, and I can have my notes in front of me, and I can feel comfortable explaining what I want you to know.
I'm gonna tell you like this: once you start explaining it, people gonna want to see it. So you're gonna have to add some stuff with it. So like we'll have some. I mean, look, I do the editing. It's cool. I'll post some pictures on there. Go by as you talking, or this and that. But we gotta have that stuff done. See, a lot of people don't understand is that yeah, they'd be like, man, you should make this into an anime or make this blah blah blah. I'm telling them about my story or something. And they'd be like, you should make it to the anime. I was like, man, this is a lot of work, dog. Like this shit ain't easy. This shit ain't easy. I got to draw everything. I'm drawing everything.
Drawing
You know
and
what
the
I'm saying?
world building and the story and the
Right.
dialogues coming with it. Like you have an idea of how you want the story to go, but you got to create that idea
Right.
from every nick and cranny up to it. And
Right.
it's a process. And then, like you said,
Man.
and it's a learning curve. Just like drawing it, trying to do it as a
Right.
manga, writing is a learning curve.
I mean, look,
it's
if you
something.
want to do it right, if you want to do it good, if you want to do it to a point where you are satisfied, you know, I mean, it's all a learning curve. It's all a lot of work. And then, you got people who's like, man, let me know when the comic book come out or let me know when the book come out. That's all they want to know. They just want to know.
I mean, they want to
when it
consume it.
You know what I'm
They're
saying?
consumers. They want to consume the product you're bringing.
I understand, but as an artist, as a creator, and this and that, like you're gonna have content so people can be able to consume it or be a consumer. That's cool,
Right.
but I can't sit here and say I got all this stuff coming that make a dope story or a dope anime, and I'm working on it. So that's why I'm telling you. When you start talking about it, you gotta have some stuff behind it. Like that's why when I post, I try to post about what I already did or I already showed. Like if you go to Fire Ruin, on Facebook, I got a lot of characters and I'm getting a couple of, some hits on it. People are like, oh, this is a dope character, this and that. And I'll start explaining characters and stuff like that. But I don't have nothing like like today. I looked at it. Somebody put a comment. It was like 2017 because I autographed the picture and it said 2017.
What? No, they didn't.
It was like 2017. I was like, yeah, I got a lot more artwork for this character, but this is the first time I drew the character. And he was like, oh, okay. Then I was like, yeah, 2017. And I ain't even gotten to this character yet. You know what I'm saying? So if I start posting characters and Wind and all these other characters that nobody don't know about, I ain't got nothing coming for them. Right. Nothing. So so you gotta be weary, or not weary, but you gotta hold back a little bit, And yeah, introducing the character Ruth, like it's a balance, kind of trying to get your social media awareness on these characters. If you ain't working 24/7 on these characters, if you ain't got something for these people to like, they could see a dope character, they could like the design of a character, but they want to know what the character do. If you ain't got nothing coming out, it's gonna be like where their interest is gone now. Right. Their interest is gone. It's like this the type of time we living in, like TikTok, snap finger, like, oh man, P was doing a comic book the other day. Man, we read it. It took 15 minutes. What the other book at? What other book? Exactly, but they don't understand. I gotta draw the buildings and all the extra shit in the background. I got design ships. I ain't got no team. I'm the only
people don't want it. People don't want excuses. They want results.
They want results, exactly. So that's all I'm saying.
They want no excuse. Yeah.
When you start, like you saying you can't think of the name of the angel, that's nothing compared to not having nothing drawn for you. So
yo. What is the name of those angels, man?
Oh, so you still thinking about it, damn angel?
No, it's eating me up because I said it so many times. I don't know how I get a brain fart when the podcast starts, but it's crazy because it's beating me in the head right now.
Well, I mean, look, this is something we've been talking about for years. So, like, just trying to get into a groove of doing it every day and get into a groove of drawing and having consistent work is, hard, especially living a life that we have. Like we grown adults, we got jobs and bills to pay and kids to take care of. So, no sob story or nothing like that. But, we get inspiration every day, and then when we get more inspiration, since we haven't put out anything, the story changes, or something happens. So I mean, this could probably be a good time to like tell some of our listeners, if you are working on a comic book, like try to write it down, try to put down something, try to draw a character a day, or try to draw your character doing stuff. It goes back to kind of like the challenge we was trying to have, like, because the more that people see this character and know this character, then they're gonna want to see more of them, and then you got to be ready, because if you ain't ready, you got to get ready, and that's gonna take
Yeah.
time. You know what
They'll
I'm
have
saying?
like a parasocial relationship with your character. They will have like, don't make them. They're like, you made me feel for your character and got the feels, and you just stop. Like this, like you was talking about the characters that I seen on Instagram. Like this guy draws this girl, and I really didn't know at the time what he was using her for, but I just knew he'd draw her all the time, different outfits, and it's almost like character sheets sometimes, like it'd be different poses,
Right.
like it's your turnarounds or whatever. And sometimes she'd have her saying some dialogue. And I remember one time she had said something snarky. So I went to the comment section. It was like, oh, I know she didn't. You need to show her, teach her a lesson and stuff. Like people was really into it. Because he was like, should I draw her like this next time to show her, teach her a lesson? They were like, yeah, teach her a lesson and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he draw her like I see her all the time because he always drawing her, even though he has his own comic book or manga, whatever he created. But he has his whole the page is not even dedicated to her; it's his art page. But you see her so much, it's like she's just a regular character now. So it's like if you don't
Right.
see her, it becomes weird. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's like a mascot, right? Like a mascot for his thing.
Right.
So it was pretty interesting to see.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
it's crazy. You get people like like we was talking like before, like people who do the AI art, and how they will do like these characters, and it'll just be instant, and then they get all these likes and whole pages made of it, and then you got those artists head down in the paper and stuff like that trying to draw and get this, garner this, these people to do it, and then be like, oh well, you don't do it fast enough for me, so I don't want to follow it no more.
yeah,
It's
that's
just me
true.
like that, so that's why I said it's a lot of work involved, like the trend is going on now. I mean, we talked about it on the phone, but the trend is going on now. When I used to have MySpace, or what is it, MySpace? Yeah, or MySpace, Black
MySpace.
Planet, those social medias before it was Facebook and all that. I used to draw cartoon characters with like hood clothes on. It was
Yeah,
detail,
hip
Lil
hop.
Wayne,
Yeah,
all that. Now it's a trend.
urban.
Urban, if you want to call it that. But yeah,
Yeah,
they had Jordans on. They had like fitted caps, SpongeBob, all that.
tattoos,
Yeah,
tatted
right.
up. They was tatted up. Yeah.
And
Now
so
that's full circle.
now it's
The
a trend.
AI.
It's a trend. Like you got,
And,
I'm seeing like the scary movie people dressed up, and they got a little bar that they will rap like they was rappers. I was like, oh my god, man! Like, and then to make it even worse, I was looking at it like trying to show Jade. I'm like, Jade, have you ever seen this, man? She was like, yeah, I know. You used to draw that back in the day. I was like, I didn't even think about that. I didn't. I'm part of the problem. I'm part of the problem. I'm over here showing you some shit that AI done drew, and
Mhm.
then sharing it, talking about this junk funny when it's AI. And I used to do it back in the day. They stole from me. That's crazy, man. And I'm like, damn, I done got brainwashed that quick, not even thinking about it. Because it's so
AI,
easy.
man.
It's so easy.
It takes it out just like that, and it's just like it's like I was telling you, it sucks because the creativity that could have came from someone that actually could have drew that, and to know that someone's behind the computer just typing prompts.
Right.
I mean, it's gonna be cool to draw some Kellogg's mascots urban attire. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like that would be it.
With
It
some
would cool
rims
to
and
see.
some and then chain.
Yeah. Let me put them with a fitted on. So it'd be cool to see, but I just wish that. But it's like you said, everybody's an artist now. So even creative ideas that
Right.
would normally come out of an actual artist, people and or ideas expressed through people. Because everybody has a brilliant mind, but some of them just can't draw or whatever. But now, instead of them trying to commission an artist to get these brilliant ideas out or something like that, they can just do it themselves. It's like, and it's cool to see what people come up with. It's like, damn, I just wish an artist created that, because it not only is a cool concept, I just wish I can see the artist and see the level of skill and time it took for the artist to do that,
Right.
and it just
But
makes me
look,
admire it more.
we that small group of artists that actually admire the artist. It's been like that, man. And I mean, this goes on to the old saying, like we always say, the artists always get the short end of the stick. But since we're artists, we're looking to see the process. We want to see all that stuff. That's why I say artists make money off of artists. Artists always been a money making game off of artists. So like if you do a tutorial on how to draw a waifu, people gonna watch that more, and the people who are watching that are gonna be artists. You know what I'm saying? Because they want to learn how to draw waifus. But the people who just want a picture of waifu, they'll pay for a Patreon to see the waifu. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So most artists make money off of other artists, and that's how it's always been. It's a perpetual cycle of that. If you if it's just it's not hard. It's just that you got to do it. But are your morals gonna be, well, I'm gonna do this for this, or I'm gonna do this to make money, blah blah blah. And that's how a lot of people's morals when they're not artists is like, well, I'm gonna just make money. You get what I'm saying? So I'm gonna put this on a T-shirt or this and that and third. I'm gonna do this to make money and make a lot of money, but they're not thinking about the craft and all that stuff like that. So it's just that's just how it works now. So you either join them or you fight them.
And we was talking about this again, like you said, and I was saying that. I mean, it's getting to the point that using the AI to do things simple as just uploading backgrounds for your comic or the manga.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, y'all. I mean, just utilize the technology, and for like anything that's on a time crunch and you're trying to get stuff done, and shoot, use them for backgrounds, use them for stuff like that. I mean, why not? Uh, Anything to try to push the stuff out. I mean, it sucks to say that, but if you can get it out in a timely manner, because it's getting to the point now, your stories and stuff is going to be what's going to be the selling point, in the first place, because the way
Right.
people's consuming it now, it's
That's what's gonna suffer. It's gonna suffer
yeah,
because
it sucks. Now
like
we can't
people
say
want
it
to see
all
the
the
story,
way,
like we was talking about before. They just want to see it.
but when it comes to legends like Yusuke Murata again with One Punch Man, like. Even I see. Well, I can't say that because a lot of people who's really into manga is the ones I've been watching on YouTube. They compliment the art of Yusuke
Right.
Murata, but they like manga and stuff. So it's like I don't know. It's like if
Right.
Yusuke was not to draw it no more and it was doing other AI stuff, how much of the population would care? I wonder.
Right. I mean,
I don't know.
that's a topic. Yeah, that's definitely a topic we can get into. Like, I mean, how many Marvel fans do they got that just watch the movies? You know what I'm saying? Because they never read the comic book. How many people know any artist that drew Spider Man? You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't care. They like Spider Man. So like when they start getting into the minutia and all these little things, like, well, if you do buy comics, then most likely you're gonna watch this movie, right? So, but if you just watch the movies, how can we sell you comic books? There's really no way to sell them comic books if they're not interested in comic books. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, for an artist to be an animator or have something animated, yeah, Yusuke Murata, they read that manga, they read One Punch Man, so they see the artwork, and then when they see the anime, they be like, this is good, they're gonna hype up. They're gonna hype up the studio that did it. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not hyping up Yusuke Murata. They hyping up the studio that did the anime. Oh, it's Mappa. Mappa did this. Blah blah blah. Like they're gonna have arguments on who's the best animator. Like so, a lot of people say Demon Slayer. They don't like the way that it's drawn. Sometimes because sometimes it ain't as detailed. So they like the animation. They like Ufotable drawing the manga. So they gonna hype up that. That's not gonna send them to the bookstore to go buy a manga. They just gonna buy the merch because they watch the anime. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's. I mean, it's like you said. It's still worth. Now, excuse me, y'all. My phone was dying, and I was trying to get Julian to give me the charge,
right? Yeah,
to charge my phone up. So I apologize because I'm using the camera. You might have to edit this. Plug it up.
We
plug
live,
it to that
man.
white
Fuck
box.
all that. We live.
Plug that to that white box. My fault. Look, I was trying to be discreet as possible. Try not to make it seem novel, but I'm like,
That's
red, right? Yeah, light red on it.
Yeah, it was like it's about to die. And I was like, dang.
You should learn silent.
I'm still recording. Yeah, you're right though, Julian. But let me appreciate it. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. My fault.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my point stands on its own. So,
I mean, a lot of people that's consuming the media now, they're not even reading the stuff. Like, especially when it comes to comic books. Like, a lot of stuff that you see that's happening now, they just assume that's just how it is, or they just assuming that that's just the director's direction. Like, in a way, it is because they kind of are going away from the books. If you think about it, like, all right, let's talk about the whole Marvel section, the new Marvels movie that's coming out.
Okay,
what is your honest take on it? What do you think about that? Like, seriously, they got another cat.
I mean, it's not out yet. It's not out yet, but like,
right.
Look, the interest level to me is very minimal. I did watch Miss Marvel, the TV show they had on Disney Plus. It was okay until they start. We could talk into the state of Marvel in general, but it was okay until it got to what is this? What am I watching this for? And then I like Tiana Parrish. She was in the WandaVision, and I always was a fan of the Black Miss Marvel. She was Miss Marvel first before, Captain Marvel or Carol Danvers.
Really?
So,
she was.
Her name was Spectre.
Really?
Yeah, her name was Spectre. Her name was Miss Marvel. She went by a bunch of aliases, but Spectre is a pretty dope character. So I know about her. So I want to see her. That's where my interest level stops because Carol Danvers, I never did. Like, she was at the beginning of why am I watching this? So this movie had nothing to do with the MCU to me when they put it in there. Like, they didn't make her, a necessary movie for me to watch. I just felt like she was just
a fan.
The movie was there. Yeah. So
it felt like you watching a fan of a superhero, and she has powers. Like that's what that show was pretty much. Just watching a fan.
I'm definitely not trying to undercut the people who do like her. To me, when it comes to context in the story, you could have cut her movie out and it still would have been the same as she is now. I don't know too much about Carol Danvers. They haven't done anything interesting. And that goes back to me on how, personally, I didn't like Thor until they did something interesting to it. Yeah, and then I started to look into the comics and stuff. I was like, yeah. So I need kind of like a, what is it called? A tether or something to tether me to Carol Danvers.
Give you a reason.
I don't have nothing to tether me to her.
She's a Wolverine. She's your Wolverine. Think about it. She is so one-sided, and she's so powerful. And it's like, I mean, to me, she's like she's your Wolverine. That's probably why you can't grasp to her because there's nothing to grab. Because she's.
That's all.
But
I mean, if you put all that in together, and then shuffle it around, and then put a movie out. Like I said, I'm gonna go watch the movie either way. I want to see what's going on with the movie. To me, when I first seen the trailers for it, I thought it was like, oh, they doing a show again.
Yeah,
They said
Disney
it
Plus
was a movie. There's a couple of shows that should have been a movie, but it is what it is. I mean, like Secret Invasion definitely should have been a movie. Maybe.
I haven't seen it yet.
Hell no. That shit was horrible, man. That
What?
shit was a 0 out of 0.
Are you serious?
To me, yes. It made no sense. No sense. It was whack. Look, everything has good points, good parts, but no, it's not worth it. So Secret Invasion was whack. So I'm just moving on from Secret Invasion. But yeah, this movie, Carol Danvers,
right.
And I don't know what could be. Once again, I feel like this is just a side movie. I don't want it. It's not important. Like Secret Invasion had Samuel Jackson in it, and this movie has Samuel Jackson in it. And then if I say Secret Invasion doesn't even matter, why should this movie matter? Like, it's supposed to have been a world war in Secret Invasion, and now we're in the Carol Danvers movie with Nick Fury doing this thing. So we know nothing happened to Nick Fury, nothing happened to the world that's important. So basically,
yeah, that's true. That's true. If you didn't watch it like I did, and you see the Marvels, you like, okay, so it may seem like Nick Fury was in so much trouble, but then when you see this movie, it's like,
no,
so you know that
like they didn't end it. I mean, like just me going on a little rant. Basically, I can't stand the whole 6 episode shit. Like, it's getting old and dumb. Like, you can't really establish nothing in 6 episodes. Like, if you really want to do these shows, do it good. Don't just put out some shit. And now I'm like questioning why you even do this. Like, it doesn't make any sense on why you would do this. So yeah, I'm gonna still watch the movie. If that answers your question, I'm gonna watch it. And then, I mean, if you want to review it, if you're gonna watch it, we can review it. But honestly, I think that it is what it is.
Now Deadpool, I'm gonna watch that when it come out. And what do you think about the mutants in the MCU, X-Men into the getting into the MCU? What do you think about that?
I mean, honestly, I think they should just stay on their own.
Really?
Because what's gonna all right, so let's just say they do introduce the mutants into MCU. Mm-hmm. What are they gonna do? There's so many mutants. They're gonna make a movie for each one, or they're gonna have an X-Men movie where it's a big threat that the X-Men have to solve, or they're just gonna start cameoing all the mutants and everybody else shit. They were like, oh, Wolverine is in this one. Oh, Storm is in this one. Oh, this and that. And then never have a movie of the X-Men because they honestly wouldn't be important. They would just be a cameo. That's all they're going to do. That's how I feel like.
Oh, man, I hope not.
So if they just keep cameoing all the X-Men on all the properties, they have no importance anymore because I could see the introduction of the X-Men be pretty cool. Like, I feel like they have to already exist. You can't like start from the beginning,
right,
and then try to make a origin story for the X-Men every time. Or I want to see. I mean, look, it's already established property. It's kind of gonna be. I would like to see what they would do with it, but then at the same time, I'm like, I don't even care really because I do want to see my favorite characters on screen, but I really don't want to see them like start over. I don't know.
The thing is too, right? It's like I guess I get it that it's gonna be different, but they kind of already concluded Logan's arc. Because like in that post-apocalyptic movie, like he died, but now in Deadpool, he's back in his yellow and blue spandex. So it's
Right.
like,
Which
what
it
are
might
they
be a
gonna do?
different universe. It's a different universe, honestly. Like the way they doing this multiverse stuff is that everybody exists more than once in different ways. Every possibility is a possibility. So there could be a possibility where Logan movie happened, and then this version of Logan is still the actor that it was, and he's wearing his yellow and blue outfit. So it's all probable. All the possibilities could be possible. It could be a possibility that Tom Cruise played Tony Stark, stuff like that. That's where the endless possibilities comes into play for these movies. But they really doing a bad job at really giving us the wonderment of it. They're trying to set up some stuff, and now they just kind of lulling it around like, what are we gonna do next? And they always was on the top of their game back in the day, but now they just like, we should put out this movie. Like I heard that the Blade movie was gonna only be like, the guy Mahershala Ali wants to leave the movie. He don't want to be in the movie no more because they didn't got 5 writers on the movie already, and none of it, the scripts are good. They was gonna make him like the 4th main character in his own story. He's 50 something years old, man. Blade ain't but look, Blade in simple terms is niggas fighting vampires. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? This nigga can fight vampires.
It's not complicated.
That's all it is. It's not complicated, bro. Like, do that. Why can't you do that? You know,
like the first Blade story was so arbitrary. It was so plain. The second Blade story was actually interesting. The second Blade
it is what it is. Like they talking about putting them in slavery times and this and that. I'm like, what the fuck are y'all doing?
Why? They better do nothing like that.
What the fuck is y'all doing?
Blade was
He was
born. He was born half human, half vampire because his mom was bit by a vampire. Why? So you mean tell me slave bit? His mom wasn't even born in slave time. He was born in Brooklyn, in New York, right? I don't know it was Brooklyn, but I knew it was New York.
Look, I was one of those guys who seen the movie first and didn't know anything about the comic book. And then when I started watching the 90s Spider-Man, Blade would pop up every once in a while. So I'm more tended to go towards the movie version of Blade before I go to the comic book version of Blade. You know what I'm saying? So the movie version of Blade is flawless. You can't really do nothing. It's flawless. Just copy that. Copy that. But I don't even want to see Mahershala Ali.
He wasn't born in slave times.
No, he wasn't.
I'm telling you that.
I already know that. I'm just saying he was born in the 70s. He was probably in the 70s. But at the same time, just do that. I don't even want to see Mahershala old ass try to be Blade no more. I don't even want to see him no more. I mean, look, he's a great actor and everything like that. Right. I just don't want to see him try to do. He's not going to be doing what Wesley Snipes is doing. He ain't going to say, motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill. I don't see Mahershala saying that shit. That's my
Why didn't he just get another actor to be able to keep up with his acrobats and stuff? Because Blade is supposed to be an incredible agility fighter. Like, why they got this cat? I mean, listen, Keanu Reeves is good. That gun food was pretty cool, but but he ain't doing all. I said Keanu Reeves as because he's like what 60 something now or something like that.
You talking about Keanu? You say Keanu? His name is Keanu. You talking
about
Keanu Reeves?
Please edit that out. Keanu Reeves, right? He's like what in his 60s? Is he like 60s? Keanu?
Yeah, I mean he old, but look, he already established.
I'm saying, but in John Wick, his gun fu is believable, even for his age. He can keep up that type of movement. But for Blade, this character is supposed to be supernatural. Right. So I don't see that this guy's going to be doing a whole lot of his own stuff. If you're going to have you're going to have a stunt man do a majority of his stuff, you just should have hired somebody else who was capable. be honest
Wesley
with you.
Snipes was capable. What the fuck? Like
Wesley
Wesley Snipes,
Snipes was
60 years old, he could still be fucking Blade. You trying to do all this universe shit? He could still be fucking Blade.
Why
He could
didn't
still be
they?
Blade.
Why didn't they hire him for that? I wonder.
Well,
Like, did
I
he get
mean, from
back?
what I've learned over the years is that he didn't want to do the third movie anymore, and he
Really?
kind of like sabotaged it itself. There's a whole documentary I saw on YouTube or whatever. So he didn't want
The
to do the
third one.
third movie,
The third one was
huh?
stupid though. The third one was
Yeah, I
stupid.
mean, he kind of sabotaged it on his own. Like you could tell he was like overacting or not really doing too much to it. But anyway, I digress. This is all. That's just one part of what Marvel is doing. The second part is they talking about bringing back the original Avengers. Why? When y'all didn't set up shit at all for that to happen, and y'all just put out a bunch of new shit. Y'all just put out a bunch of new shit for no reason. So now I feel like I done watched all this Disney Plus movies and shows and shit for
And they're gonna
nothing.
just and they're
You
just
know
gonna
what I'm saying?
reboot the whole thing anyway.
Like, I mean, yeah, I understand them rebooting it, but look, this is what got us hooked, got our hooks in, is when they was like, all this shit connected. So now it ain't connected no more. Is that what you're trying to say? You just gonna bring back some shit? That's
Well,
cool, y'all.
they ended it. They all of it came full circle in the long run. So like I don't know. Like I said, we was talking about with the Wolverine with Hugh Jackman. It's like maybe it's a different universe because his arc ended.
But they ain't been setting up no another universe. They just been setting up dumb shit.
They can't. Well, I ain't gonna say they did, but I guess they was trying to say with Doctor Strange movie was like them Doctor Strange and with the ended Avengers when they was trying to go back and get the stones, whatever. They was trying to say that you know reality has been altered. There's been different timelines and stuff that happened. So, because with not Doctor Stone, damn, with Doctor Strange, when all that happened at the end of that movie with Mom and all that stuff, and everybody thought that that was going to be like the Secret Wars and all that stuff, but it's supposed to have been a whole lot of other stuff happening with these. I forgot who was going to be the main villain and all that stuff, but they thought that was going to be the introduction of it because it showed the Illuminati in it as well. They were like, "Oh, okay." But that was the alternate universe of Illuminati. So maybe the Illuminati is going to show up in another universe and they're going to do more, stuff like that. So
Okay,
that's what they think.
So let me say. So let me ask you the question: do you think that's set up enough for them to be introducing another Avengers or anything like that? That one movie that wasn't even about that. It was just a part
Multiversal.
of,
Like I said, they did
multiverse
it.
matter. Do you think that movie set up enough for it to be a multiverse?
Well, they did it again in Avengers, though. Like they did it first in Avengers, and then they kind of sprinkled again in Doctor Strange. So
how they do it again in Avengers? They haven't had an Avengers movie out since Thanos and them.
Well, I'm just saying though, but that's when it was actually like sprinkled onto the audience that multiverses exist. And what about also with Ant-Man? Because they was trying to say that he was
Quantumania.
Quantumania.
Okay, so all right. So I don't know how far along you is. If you haven't watched none of the shows, so just watching the movies.
Just watching.
They trying to make Kang the Conqueror a bad guy, but every time that we see Kang the Conqueror, his ass is getting wiped by somebody weak as fuck. You know what I'm saying?
What?
Like, yes. That's why a lot of people didn't like the way that Thanos slapped the fuck out of the Hulk, dog. Like, because they was like, man, they made Hulk look like a bitch. But that showed how strong Thanos is, though. It definitely showed. It definitely showed that this nigga Kang. We done seen 3 variants of Kang already. He Who Remains from the Loki show, and Quantumania. He got beat by Ant-Man. And in his third version of the new Loki show, this nigga get killed. Spoiler, whatever. He get killed. So So like he ain't got no badassness to him. He ain't got nothing that makes him a threat other than him being they keep saying he's gonna be a threat. Like he's not been shown that he's a threat. One good slap out of the Hulk, Thanos is a fucking threat. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Thanos is
No,
a
the
fucking
Hulk
threat.
and Thor. Like he beat the crap out
Yeah,
of
he bitch
Thor.
slapped the fuck out of
Yeah.
Hulk. Hulk didn't even want
Yeah.
to come out no more.
Hulk
That's
made a
how
noise. Hulk made a scream that it sounds so bitch me. Like and when he got hit, when he put everybody like, yo, I didn't even know he could make that noise. Like that's the first time you heard that dude get hurt. Hulk was
Look,
like, nah, I ain't come
they
back
ain't
out to
even
play.
they ain't even set up Thanos that much. This nigga was at the end of the end credit scenes of just about 2 or 3 movies. You know what I'm saying? And then this nigga beat the Hulk ass. So now we know that Thanos is a fucking threat, and he ain't even been in no movie. You
His
know what I'm
one
saying? This
liners,
guy
his one
been in
liners.
3 shows and a movie. He been in and he ain't did shit. And look, look, Jonathan Majors going through some shit right now. But at the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
time, like Marvel don't know what the fuck they want to do, man. You know, if y'all knew what y'all want to do, y'all will make him a threat. Y'all will make some movies where it pertains to the multiverse. Y'all need some direction. Y'all just keep making fucking movies. Eternals didn't make no sense. Black Widow didn't fucking make no sense. And none of these fucking movies apply to the goddamn what assignment. Yes, they none of them apply to the assignment. The assignment is to get the multiverse up and running, and y'all ain't did shit yet in 2 years. So
Yeah.
it is what it is,
Yeah.
you know.
Because they thought they killing off Black Widow. Because what's her name came back too as an
Black Widow was already
example of a
dead.
different. I'm saying I know she already dead, but what's her name? The green chick off of Guardians of the Galaxy, because she's a new version now,
Gamora.
right? Gamora. So they was like, okay, she's from a different universe, and she's in this universe. So it showed like trinkets that they could have did something with it, but they ain't doing anything with it. Because like I said, we have a different Gamora now,
Right.
So it's like,
I mean, but that Gamora, if you seen Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which was good, that Gamora ain't doing nothing else. That Gamora don't know shit about nothing.
yeah,
So to even look, man, look, they whole direction. The only good thing that came out of the movies after Infinity War was Spider-Man, No Way Home. That was the only thing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what else to. I can't really give no lead. And then I would say Guardians of the Galaxy 3, but that's like the end of what James Gunn was trying to do. So I look at that more as a James Gunn movie and not a Marvel movie, if you want to call it that. But all the rest of these movies, like Shang-Chi was good, but I ain't seen that nigga since 2021.
yeah. Why?
You know
What
what
was
I'm
the
saying?
point? Why didn't you even
Like
bring him
he
out
ain't
if he
been
ain't gonna
in
be
nothing.
used?
He ain't even been in no fucking TV shows, bro. Like it doesn't even fucking matter about him. If he pop up now, I'm like, oh, I remember that nigga back in 2021.
Yeah,
Why the fuck would you do
like you said,
that?
the Eternals. Like, what is the significance of them? Why has they even made these movies? What is the purpose of them in the MCU? Like,
Right.
they
That's why
have
I say
absolutely
they got the hooks in us about all this shit is connected. And then all of a sudden they were like, no, ain't none of this shit connected. But then they ain't even making stories about the multiverse. I understand if it was about the multiverse and you just had different characters. If this Marvel's movies where the girls in it, if another Miss Marvel don't pop up and beat Carol Danvers' ass, I don't want to see it. You know what I'm saying?
because they established when they established Thanos was bad against Hulk, but then he hit her and she just looked at him. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So he had to take the Power Stone and hit her. So we gonna
Look,
see what she
it
can
gotta
do in
be
this
something
movie.
pivotal with the multiverse. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. I want look. They already told me the story in the trailers. The story is, oh well, all our powers are connected. When she uses her power, I teleport over here, and when she uses her power, I teleport over here.
So
Oh,
how's
you need to find
Kamala?
out the source.
How's Kamala? What does Kamala have
Look,
anything to do with tomorrow?
her show took. Look, it was 6 episodes. It took 5 episodes to explain what her powers was coming from. And then at the end, they gonna try to goddamn say, "Oh, you're a mutant." I was like, "What? What?"
I mean, she always been a mutant though. Like she. That's why I was confused about it. I mean, Kamala is a mutant. She's just fan of Cara Danvers.
But the way they took 5 episodes to show where her powers was coming from. At first, she didn't have no powers. Then she got some bangles. Then she went in the past. She did a whole bunch of dumb shit.
Yeah, that's
to be like, oh, her power come from her bangles, right? So then maybe it's connected to Shang-Chi because his father had 10 rings on his shit. So maybe it's the same technology. Nope, different universe. It's not even a different universe. It's a different dimension, if you want to call it that. Dimension is they calling her a Djinn, which is I guess a Indian word for demon
Genie.
or something like that.
Jinn is like Jinn is like it's a genie.
It's like a genie. You're right. And so to them is like a demon or whatever. So they keep calling her this shit. They saying they get these bangles from this shit. They go and do a whole history shit. She go in the past. She saved her grandma from something that was happening in India, and then she comes back, and then she fights a boy who got the same type of powers, and then at the end of that, she beat him, and then they was like, "Oh man, I don't know where your powers come from. You might be a mutant." So then, all of a sudden, they got a movie called The Marvels, like all your powers are connected.
And that's what I'm trying to say. How is her powers is connected? How is her powers connected to to Cara Danvers? If they established that Cara Danvers' powers came from the
she was a fan of Cara Danvers.
They see Cara Danvers. I mean, I don't know the whole history with her, but I thought Cara Danvers was a mutant, right?
No,
at least I thought that she was. But she got her powers from the Tesseract, of course, in the movie. But in the comics, she got her power from somebody else, right?
Yeah, she got it from the dude that was in her movie. Basically, he traded powers with her or something like that. Like he was gonna die. It was kind of like a Green Lantern type of shit. Instead of giving her the rings, he gave her powers.
Yeah,
and then she became like a superpower person. And then the mutant part, you probably getting confused with Rogue, because Rogue ends up taking Carol Danvers' powers, and she's a mutant. That's why by Rogue she can fly and she got super strength.
I thought they said Rogue took her powers from another mutant who had that type of powers because she killed that mutant by accident.
Yeah, no, it was Miss Marvel. It was Miss Marvel, and then Captain Marvel. It was a Captain Marvel before her, and that's who she got her powers from. It was an alien dude. The aliens that she fought in the thing, not the Skrulls, but the other aliens, the blue skin aliens.
But yeah, the Kamala was always a mutant, so her powers is just expansion. It's just expansion, right? Like her hands just expand or whatever.
Yeah, she stretches like Mr. Fantastic.
But so what does that have to do with the Tesseract?
I mean, honestly, I don't know. Like that don't have nothing to do. Like maybe because it's a space power, because basically, the Tesseract was the space stone, and it was residual energy from the space stone. And then, I would guess they can explain it that way. But they ain't done that. So I'm guessing that since the Tesseract was the Space Stone and Carol Danvers got her powers from space, so now they call cosmic powers, if you want to call it that.
No, I was talking about Kamala. Yeah. Like what her thing has to do with the Tesseract. Like she's a mutant.
Well, I don't know what it has to do with the Tesseract, but it has similar properties in the show, not in the comic book, but in the show. She uses light constructs, kind of like Green Lantern, to make whatever she does. So she'll make a big hand, and it'll be like a light construct. It'll be
It's not her actual hand that gets big?
No, it's not her actual hand. She's not.
What? What? No, in the comics, her hand stretches out. It stretches like Mr. Fantastic. What does they do?
honestly, I'm glad it don't stretch out because it would look stupid on TV. It looks stupid. I don't care if she can stretch. Like it always looks silly. It always looks silly. Just
But
imagine
what
the
do they?
Fantastic Four movies. It's always silly, man. With a live action person stretching like that. Like I ain't watched look. I didn't watch the One Piece, but people said it was good. But
The Netflix one.
I
Yeah, the
thought it would
Netflix
look
was good.
stupid. You know, I think the stretching shit is not a good power, man. I mean, look,
It's her origin though. What do you can't just sit here and just say because you don't like it, we're gonna make her do hard light as a construct, as her
I
power.
told
That
you,
has nothing to do with her origin
I
in
told you
reality.
they changed her origin where she got powers from these Bengals, and these Bengals is where she get these powers from.
But now she's a mutant though.
But yeah, that's what I said at the last episode. Her guy in the chair or some dude was like, I don't know, man. The powers ain't coming straight from the Bengals. They coming from you, man. It's kind of like you're a mutant. And then when he said it is they gonna play the music, I was like, oh my fucking god.
So they're gonna give her a mutant title, but don't give her mutant abilities. Because mutant abilities normally is not to be appeasing for the eye. They're mutants. Some of them looks like it could be cool to look at, but some mutant powers you don't want. Some mutant
Right,
powers you like. I feel sorry for that person. It's the reason
right,
why they was freaking, the society and all that stuff was trying to kill them because a lot of them was hideous looking, and some of them had powers. It's crazy, like Toad or you know what I'm saying.
right.
So you can't take away the aspect of her being a mutant and say, well, we don't like the way her hands look. I'm not saying that's what they said, but if they
Well,
even thought about
she
that.
when I think about it, she wasn't even a mutant. She was a
No, not in this sense. She's not a mutant.
no, in the comic book she wasn't a mutant.
Oh, she was
She
a
was
mutant in the comic
actually
book.
no, she wasn't a mutant.
Yes, she was.
She was what is it called? An inhuman. She was an inhuman. She wasn't a
Oh,
mutant.
you're right. An Inhuman.
Yeah.
She was an Inhuman.
Yeah.
Yeah. And wait a minute, what's the difference though? Inhuman, mutant. Was Inhumans a
Okay,
created?
so let me take you to Marvel comic book corner. So basically, an inhuman and a mutant are different. A mutant is born with the X gene. The X
Right,
gene mutates and they turn into a mutant. They
right,
manifest powers. When you're inhuman, you are made by a different. You have a gene in your body because you're made with a deviant cell inside of you, which goes back to the Eternals. The Eternals, when they created the world, there was two different types. It was a regular human, and then it was an inhuman. So the Inhumans was supposed to be something stronger than the regular humans. So the only way to become an Inhuman, everybody has that dormant gene. Who has an Inhuman dormant gene? They has to get in contact with something called a Terrigen mist, and this mist mutates you to be an Inhuman. So
okay,
they kind of did away with the Inhumans in the Marvel Cinematic Universe because they had a TV show and it was horrible. And they was going to build up the Inhumans because Fox had X-Men and they didn't want to give Fox any more material. So they just started to build up the Inhumans. You know what I'm saying?
wow.
So now it doesn't make any sense. They didn't say anything about this in the Eternals in the cinematic universe. They didn't say anything, but it was humans and deviants. They haven't even made a second movie. It's been what? That movie came out in 2020 or maybe 2021.
The Turtles.
Yeah,
I can't remember. It's
they
it's
haven't
been
even came.
been
They
a
haven't
long
even.
time.
They set up some shit in there, and then they didn't even continue to make any more movies. You know, usually the movies come out every year or 2 years or something like that. So I don't know. Anyway, back
But
to
they
what I was
had a
saying.
chance,
So
right? They had a chance with Kamala if they say, well, maybe she's an Inhuman. But they said a mutant. Why did they
they
just
say
call
they're
her
not touching
Inhuman?
inhuman shit no more. They're not
But
touching inhuman shit no
it
more.
would have linked it together because it was like, okay, if she's an Inhuman, and we all know the Eternal was there, they made an Eternals movie, that explains something. wow. Because you're right, she isn't a human. You're absolutely right. She was with Medusa and all of them.
Right. So yeah, I mean, that's the state of Marvel right now. Like I said, Marvel is spinning wheels right now. They don't know what the fuck they want to do. And then, of course, this movie, the Marvels movie, gonna get a lot of hate because there's a bunch of women in it. No, I don't think it's not one lead white person in this movie, a white male. So it's three women. It's directed by a woman. It's got black male characters. It got Indian characters. It got Asian characters. I think people just gonna hate on the movie just because it's diverse, and then Marvel gonna have an excuse to be like, y'all don't like movies that's diverse. Y'all didn't even put nothing into this movie for people to like it. You know what I'm saying? So
that's funny. That's funny you say this. I just watched South Park new special that came out, the Pandaverse. And it pretty much was because like the show started off, the whole cast was they changed the whole cast to diverse women of color. So it had a black woman, an Asian woman, an Indian woman, and another race, maybe a Hispanic woman. And they all was represented. There was no white people in it. You know what I'm saying? And the whole premise of the show, spoilers, watch it if y'all haven't seen it. It's hilarious. But the whole premise of it was the black woman, and she was Carmen, and they end up switching it to other universes, trying to figure out what the hell was going on, right?
Right.
And Carmen was blaming it on Kathleen Kennedy. But the thing is, when they was messing with the Pandaverse, because they was like, Carmen's, but when they was messing with the Pandaverse, they said it was some kind of stone that they was using to get rich, and they called it the Pandaverse, and they kept on repeating the same stuff over and over and over again. But they was like, man, something's different about this Kathleen. You think she's from a different universe? And Carmen come in dressed as Kathleen Kennedy, and she was like, they was trying to change up a different story. I think I forgot what. It wasn't Cinderella. It was something else. But Carmen was like, put a cat in it.
Little Mermaid?
No, I want Little Mermaid. It was something that haven't made yet. It was some Disney movie that they haven't made yet. There's a cartoon. It's trying to make live action. But he was like, I don't care. Put a cat in it and make it fucking gay. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the whole thing was, right? He was just trying to make everything. The Disney execs were like, we've already done this. We already put a cat and a gay cat in like 6 other movies. I don't care. Yeah, a gay cat. You're like, we already did this. He's like, I don't care. Put a fucking cat in it, and he better be fucking gay. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was Catholic.
Right.
But anyway, it was making fun of everything that's going on with society, right? Like in the other universe, the black girl that got switched into Carmen's world, because you know what Carmen is, right? Like the fat one. Like, hey, come on, cat. You know that guy, right? So even though
his name is Cartman.
I said Cartman.
You said Carmen.
I thought I was saying Cartman. Cartman. Yeah, but anyway, he gets in there, and it's a black woman. And she's trying to tell, Kyle and all the rest of them that, something ain't right, because she was like, I kept having a dream that was surrounded by little white boys and stuff like that, this, that, and the third. Right. And she was telling her friends that, but then when she gets switched to the universe, she's like, I was right. So she's going to them, and she's trying to say, I'm Cartman. And they was like, no, you not. And she's like, yes, I am. I'm Cartman. So she goes to the principal. The principal calls the crew in there, and it was like pretty much getting on them for saying that because Cartman's a black woman now. They was like, how dare you say that this is not Cartman? You know what I'm saying? Because people can say who they want to say. So they was like, it's stupid. They were like, listen, you can't just sit and say who don't want to be who. If Cartman wants to be a black woman, he could be a black woman. It was like, what? It was like, this isn't Cartman. It was like, if Cartman would be a black woman, he could be a black woman.
Gold episodes.
Yo, I'm telling you, you gotta watch it, yo. It's hilarious, yo.
I remember when they did that imagination shit. Man, that shit was crazy, man.
You
Like
got
I ain't seen it in a while, but I'll check it out. Definitely.
yeah, you gotta watch. It's on Paramount Plus. I'm not sure if it's anywhere else, but I do know it's on Paramount Plus. But pandering the Pandaverse,
The Pandaverse. That's
the
crazy.
Pandaverse. It's hilarious, yo. It's hilarious. But it's crazy. And then they they ended up teaming up, and she ended up going to Kyle's house, right? Trying to figure out what's going on, trying to get him to upgrade his internet. But she wanted him to upgrade his internet because she just want to play Baldur's Gate 3. She didn't care, but she used that excuse. She used that excuse for them to need to upgrade the internet so they can open up a portal to get back to her world. But she like, no, I just want to play Baldur's Gate 3. You know what I'm saying? But the mom came in, and then she was like, who is this? And the cow was like, oh, this is Cartman. He's a black woman now. And his cow's bubble, she was like, okay, I don't see nothing wrong with that. And walked out. It's like she ain't want no part of that.
Right, no parts of that. Right?
She ain't want no part of that. And it was that was like the A plot, but the B plot was that people didn't know how to fix nothing. So the people who was like the maintenance guys, maintenance guys was getting so much work and they was getting so rich they became billionaires because people didn't know how to fix
how to do regular
fix nothing. So he was like what's his name? Kyle's dad, like, I'm gonna show y'all how to fix an oven. Get in here. So they get in the kitchen. He said, this is how you fix the oven. He called a handyman. He called a handyman to come fix the oven. You know what I'm saying? But the handyman was like, I got so much work on my ass, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody kept calling the handyman to do stuff. So they got mad at the college. They're like, man, it's the college fault. The college made us waste all this money on stuff that we don't even need. So they was like, we're going to do something to the college, right? So they ordered a catapult, right? The catapult came in a box. They was like, the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Because they don't know how to put shit together.
Now you got to put it together, right?
Right. They was pretty much striking against the handyman. But they hired the handyman
to put the
catapult. And then the dude was like, yeah, we hired a handyman. We all pitched in $20,000 each. He was like, what? So look, they got the handyman to fix the catapult. They threw a rock into the college building. Handyman pulls up to fix the window.
He's making all the money. Yeah, he's making all the money.
Yo, the handyman got so rich, they was like, they started doing stupid stuff. Like, I'm gonna be the first one to go out in space. Like, the handyman was fighting against each other because they were so rich. They was acting like Jeff Bezos and and the other dude on Twitter, Elon Musk. Yeah, because they got so rich. Like, they was riding on super whip because no one know how to do nothing, and so they was just picking and choosing jobs. And Kyle's dad had the bright idea to go to Home Depot to try to find like someone like a Mexican or something to go out there and try to learn to fix something. But when he got there, it was a lot of white collar workers out there because they had the same idea. And instead of how you pull up and they be like immigrants be out there like, oh, we'll fix your car, we'll do this. The white collar workers was trying to give their services for an exchange of a handyman. They was like, you need a lawyer? I give you free law advice. And I was like, oh, well, I'm an accountant. I'll put your stuff together. They was acting like immigrants, but they was and the handyman drove by. He's like, I need somebody to learn how to use some kind of saw. Saw. And they was like, well, we don't know how to use a saw, but I give you free legal advice. You know what I'm saying? Like, that right? You fix my stuff.
Right. They out there pandering, trying to get jobs.
Yeah. And the handyman drove off. He's like, none of y'all know how to use a file saw. He just drove off. Yo, it was funny, yo. You gotta watch it, yo. I enjoyed
I'll check it out. Yeah,
it was hilarious, man. Yeah. I probably butchered it, but it was funny, man. It was that Pandaverse. South Park always be making fun of stuff, man. That's why I like them. They make fun of all that stuff. It's hilarious.
Right. That's the comedy, man. Everybody's so sensitive nowadays, man.
Yeah.
Like, it reminds me of what I was talking. Have you seen what was it? I guess I mean, I go ahead and tell this John. We can try to wrap it up. You know, we
All
shooting
right.
the shit now. So what is it? Have you seen the Django? Right, Django.
Yeah, which one with Jamie Foxx?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
one
I've
with
seen
Jamie Foxx.
it.
So
Mhm.
you remember that part where the Ku Klux Klan was trying to get them, right? And they had the mask on, and then they had the holes in the mask trying to get kind of get the slaves, but they was out there having a conversation about the holes. He was like one of the Ku Klux Klan dudes was like, "Oh shit, man, I can't see shit out of this thing." You know what I'm
Yeah, I remember
saying?
that. I remember that scene.
Yeah, he's like, I can't see shit out of this thing, man. You could have told Jenny, goddamn, do a better job than this. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, Jay was on the phone on TikTok and it was playing that scene. And I was just like, I remember that shit is hilarious, right?
Yeah.
But should I be laughing at it? You know what I'm saying? Because this is the Ku Klux Klan trying to get black people, right? But it's
Yeah.
kind of funny because they getting held up from killing black people because they ain't do a good job on
When
the
the
on the
Yeah,
hood.
with the holes and everybody out there,
Right.
the horse is bad.
Right. So I was like, damn. I was like, who wrote
Yeah.
this? Right. And I was like, yo, goddamn, Quentin Tarantino is fucking stupid. Right. Like Quentin Tarantino had to write this shit. So I'm like, I know I shouldn't be laughing, but it's funny. You know, I was like, would it be funny if it was about black people? Like if it was about the Black Panther Party? Right. And I was like, I don't know. Would it be funny? I was like, imagine the Black Panther Party going to kill some white people, right? And then one of them is arguing about we should say Black Power when we come in the room instead of saying Black Power after we kill them. You know what I'm saying? He was like, because that defeats the purpose of saying Black Power if they dead. When you say,
Stupid.
I was like, that would be crazy, but then we'd be probably mad if a white person wrote that, right? You know what I'm saying?
Like that same movie Django, the part with what's his name? Leonardo, right? What's that the actor's
Right,
name?
right.
What's his last name?
Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah.
DiCaprio, there. Where he was talking about Eskimo Joe. Where he
Right.
was like, they Eskimo Joe's like, yeah, he came one day, he said his name is Joe and he's cold. So we call him Eskimo Joe. Yo, that's
Right.
yo, that was
Man,
funny. That was so
look.
funny. I was like, that's messed up. But it
Right.
was funny. You know what I'm saying? Because they call him Eskimo Joe. Yeah, that's messed up. Like, they would make the white people making fun of him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
he came when they say he was cold.
Right.
Eskimo Joe.
Man,
That's
that movie
funny.
hilarious, man. And,
It is,
like,
yeah.
I don't know why people don't, I mean, that movie
It's
hilarious.
brutal.
I know, but it's like, should I be laughing at this shit, man? Because like,
Why not?
because it's fucked up. It's about slavery though, but the white person wrote it. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, like Leonardo DiCaprio is being way too good at saying the word nigga. You know what
He
I'm
was
saying?
good
On
in that
there.
movie.
He was really
He did a
good.
good job. Yeah,
And I was like, yo, that's my nigga though. I can't. You know what I'm saying?
it was
He
a
my
good
nigga
movie though. It was a good movie though. I mean, he played it. He did a good job. He did a good role.
Yeah,
I mean,
he did a good
I ain't
job.
mad at him. He did good.
But that's
yo,
what I'm saying. Like you can't be mad. Like it's a good movie, but like you really gonna be mad? Like I can't. I don't know. I like because it's about slavery and shit, and you be like, damn man, Quentin Tarantino gotta be racist as shit to make a movie about a slave. You know what I'm saying? It's a B movie. It's basically like Black Dynamite type shit. That's how funny that shit is to me, bro.
When the
This
black
movie
people
is
came
hilarious.
up in the end and stuff, it was still a good movie. It was
I know.
what people have. It makes you feel uncomfortable because it's based off a truth, but it's doing it lightheartedly. But it got some hard stuff in it, which they do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it is what it is to me. I mean,
right. That shit is funny, man.
I mean, people, would you get offended that Ronnie Danny Jr. when he played the black dude in Tropic Thunder?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
it was
people
funny.
Like, hey.
It was funny though. You know what I'm saying?
Never go full retard, man. No, I'm like, yo, he acting too good as a black person, man.
Yeah,
you know
he did. He did. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
right? We don't hold it against him. Like Robert Downey Jr. We don't hold it against him though. Even though it was funny, it was fucked up, but it was funny.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
He was playing the black dude pretty good though, man.
That's why I say, man, people too sensitive nowadays.
Too sensitive,
bro. Like
man.
you can't even laugh at shit no more, man.
That's what I'm saying. I find that movie hilarious. It was funny.
Yeah,
it was funny. I mean, and Django, like I said, it's really brutal, but it was a good movie too. I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Right.
I thought it was a good movie. So it is
but
what
look,
it is. Like
look, guys, look. We ain't gonna hold y'all up no more. I mean, look, these are kind of type of conversations we have all the time, man. And I mean, we did talk about some drawing, talk about some drawing, some animation, some nerds, and some gaming shit in this podcast. So this is an all-encompassing podcast, man. So, we gonna do some house cleaning. Give out the socials. Please try to follow us on our socials. Like I said, we starving artists. Excuse me, we starving artists, and we want to, get our stuff out there, and then we want to build a community where y'all can get y'all stuff out there. So try to follow us on all the socials. Check out DaneComics.com. Check out Instagram, Firearm Comic, PG Artwork, PG_artwork. Juelz Art on Instagram. Also Firearm PG on TikTok. Juelz Art on TikTok?
Yeah, Juelz Art, yeah.
Juelz Art on TikTok. Just
kind of like Mozart, but Juelz Art.
Right. I mean, we try to get the Dane community back together. We've been trying to post more on the Facebook group and, check out some stuff. Hopefully we get some challenges going on. We're going to try to get it more organized for y'all guys. Other than that, man, you got anything else to say, Juelz?
No. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I know that I tend to get a little tongue-tied or not know the people, the names, but I don't know. I'm a consumer at heart, like we talked about earlier. So certain things that matter, I will get the names and stuff right, and sometimes it just escapes me. Like with Keanu Reeves. Right? Keanu. I love him, man. He's a good actor. I just can't get his name right for some odd reason. But I love Keanu Reeves. So don't judge me or get me mad at me give me flack for that. Sometimes I just get these names all jacked up. But Keanu Reeves. And it make it so bad if it weren't for the podcast, I would have hit it right. So it's only fun. It's only like this when we record, and then I make an ass of myself. So it's about right. That's life.
I mean, you finished with saying what you didn't have nothing to say? No, I was just messing with you.
No, I'm good. That's it.
All right. Well, I guess we love y'all, and we'll holler at y'all later on the next podcast. Peace.
It's not the fact that they got me working Friday. It's the route they got me on. The route that they got me on is a shitty ass route. Anybody else besides another guy, like anytime people have to come in, like these women, they put them on a route called Route 15, and it's easy as fuck.
Right.
But for me or TJ, they want to throw us on that route. So I came in there the other day, Saturday, and I saw you put me on the schedule, and I said, "Oh hell no, because I ain't doing it." I said they got they got people under me doing that route. So and they got me doing this crazy ass route, and it's supposed to be raining Friday. I said you got one or two things, and I told them straight up. I said either you gonna put me on Route 15, or I ain't gonna be here. I'm not coming to work.
Right.
Simple as that. Well, you ain't gonna come to work. That's what shit happens all the time.
Right.
I might be sick that day.
Right.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So yeah, man, like fuck that.
Bare minimum.
These jobs, these jobs, exactly. These jobs thinking that, man, you can kiss my ass. I'm not doing that route. I'm not doing it. But had it been one of their buddies, they wouldn't have did that.
Right.
And the same one that was talking about, and it makes it so bad, right? Everybody that's on that same swing, I'm not the only one working that day. People who's supposed to have that day off with me are working too, but they're doing their route. I'm the only one who's not doing my route. My floater is doing my route. Everybody else's floater is doing a different route. And my floater gonna have the nerve to look at me and tell me that I'm being lazy. I'm like, well, you fucking do Route 11 then. Oh, no, I ain't gonna do it. I said the only reason why you ain't doing it is because you buddy with the fucking supervisor.
All right.
I said, well, you know. I said, I don't want to hear that shit. I said, how come out of everybody who's come in that day, everybody's doing their route? But some odd reason, instead of them giving you a different route, they gave you my route and gave me the shitty route. Why is that?
All right.
Man, I'm about to slap the shit out of her, man.
Man, you know these motherfuckers be trying to test you, man. Everybody always trying to test you. See when you gonna break. That's why I do lackluster work, so you won't expect shit out of me no more. Like it's the same shit I was doing. What was it? Thursday, right? No, Thursday they had me driving, and then I was supposed to be moving trailers out. I take one trailer out, it's full in the yard over there. I come back, I try to get in touch with my manager and was like, yo, what you want me to do with these trailers, man? The offsite full. Ain't hit me back. This 9 o'clock. He ain't hit me back until 1 o'clock. I ain't do shit until 1 o'clock. Hey, I tried. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's the best I can do.
Yeah, exactly, right? You ain't gonna go overboard and keep calling. Like I called, hey, you didn't answer.
Right.
Hit me back up when you get this message. You know what I'm saying? Straight
right.
up.